Hey everyone, my name is Katie and welcome to the Landis training video. I'm here to talk about our homeownership program and all of the steps that are in place with Landis so that you can be an expert when you bring the program to the client and also so you can close on additional deals for years to come. If you have any questions at any time, always feel free to reach out to us at partners@landis.com. Now let's get started. First things first, Landis is on a mission to use compassion and innovation to help guide people on their unique path to homeownership. We're a 12 to 24-month homeownership program, and we work with people who are 24 months away or less from obtaining their own mortgage. We also help agents make more money. Quick spoiler alert, we buy a home in cash for clients who can't buy yet, and you represent us and earn a commission. The way our program works is we partner with agents who have clients that don't currently qualify for a mortgage. For instance, if you had a client that came to you that really wanted to buy but didn't qualify because either their credit was too low, their DTI too high, or they didn't have enough funds saved for a down payment, you can refer them to Landis for us to qualify them within our program. We then give them a budget. You take them out touring for a home within that budget, and when they find one they'd like to be in, we purchase it for them in all cash. At that point, you would represent Landis on the buyer side of the transaction and earn your full buyer side commission. From there, the client would move into the home and begin renting it from Landis until they were mortgage eligible and could buy it back from us. So I'm sure at this point, you're all thinking, this sounds great, but how exactly does it work? Well, I'm going to walk you through the steps. It all begins with you signing up on our partner portal. To access the portal, go to www.landis.com/agents. Once you're logged into the portal, this is where you can begin referring your clients. Once you enter a client into the portal, they'll automatically receive the Landis 5-minute application, which is completely free for them to fill out and submit. Next, we look at some basic qualifying factors within our forecasting tools. We approve the client and then give them a budget. From there, you can take them out touring for their home. We'll get into the specifics on property criteria here in just a minute. Finally, we buy the house in all cash on behalf of the client, at which point you, as the agent, earn your full buyer side commission. So besides the full commission, this will also help build your business in a variety of ways. You'll naturally close on more transactions now that you have an option for unqualified buyers, which will lead to more earnings year over year, and you'll be helping more clients get into homes. This will lead to additional referrals for you, which helps continue to expand your buyer base. At the end of the day, Landis is driven by our mission and desire to help people on their path to homeownership, and we're excited for you to be a part of that alongside with us. We'll now dive into the details of our client criteria. Okay, so in a nutshell, we're looking to work with clients who qualify for a mortgage within the next 12 to 24 months. We'll be doing the qualification for you, but there are a couple of things to note. We help clients who are having trouble obtaining a mortgage for one or more of the following reasons. Their credit score is below the threshold. They still need more time to save up for a down payment on a home. They have variable income or receive a 1099, or they've been through a bankruptcy in the past. These are some great things to keep in mind as you're looking through your pipeline to see who might be a good fit for the Landis program. I'll get into some greater detail in the next slide. So let's review our baseline criteria for application approval. First, we're looking at least $30,000 in annual income. Second, we'll be looking at their credit score. We're looking for at least a 550 credit score, and this involves a soft credit pull, so it will not harm your client's credit in any way. I do want to point out that we will look to be sure that there are no evictions or late rent payments or car repossessions in the past year, and no recurring overdrafts. Student loans must also be in good standing and not in default. We can work with folks that have had bankruptcies as long as it's been discharged. The next thing I want to note is that we'll be looking for the client to have at least $3,000 in savings. We want to ensure that they're on track for approval of a mortgage within a year or two, and this does involve having some funds saved up. Lastly, there are a couple of important timelines that I'd like to note. Their initial application, once submitted, will be evaluated within 24 hours. So within 24 hours, they will receive a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on if they meet our initial criteria. Overall, it will take up to 4 days for us to go through their supporting documents and determine a full program qualification. But of course, that's really dependent on how quickly the client uploads the documents that we request from them. What will happen on the client side is the client will submit their application, our team will review it. At that point, we will then request their supporting documents. So if we're moving forward with them, we'll need some more documents to back up what they've submitted on their application. After supporting documents have been reviewed and their application has been approved, we provide them with a budget, and their dedicated client success team member will reach out with details regarding this budget and to answer any questions they might have. So we really want to be upfront regarding timelines. So please help to ensure that the client understands it could take up to 4 days for the full qualification, but they'll hear back within 24 hours of their initial application submission. So now that we've reviewed some of the basics, let's take a look at a step-by-step breakdown of the Landis process as it relates to agents. So you've looked at your pipeline, you understand the criteria, you have someone that you think would be a good fit. How do you submit them as a lead? The first step will be logging into the Landis Partner Portal at landis.com/agents, or you can just go to landis.com and click here on Partners. That will also bring you straight to the portal. This is where you're going to be able to actually refer your leads. So here within the Invite a Client tab, you'll see there's an area to enter in their name, email address, and phone number. Any background details or notes that you'd like to enter will be really helpful to us as we're evaluating their initial application. Once you hit submit, that will send them the application, and it will also directly link them to your portal. Also within the Clients tab in your portal, you're able to easily see and check the status of each of your leads. You can see that this client in particular has been invited and will go through a number of different stages as she goes through the application process. You'll be kept up to date via text message each time your client switches a status in the process. You can also feel free to reach out to customers at landis.com to request an update on any particular client, and they'll be able to get back to you with some information regarding their status. Now, as we talked about earlier, once the application is received, we'll begin reviewing and forecasting if we think the client will be mortgage ready within 1 to 2 years. We'll do a soft credit pull, ask for supporting documentation, and run through our forecasting tool. If they qualify, we'll then schedule a call to review their budget. If they're waitlisted, that means they're not quite ready yet, and we'll invite them to download our coaching app where we will give them tips and tricks on what to work on. Okay, so now your client is qualified for the program. They've received a budget and are ready to move forward. Let's talk about what we're looking for in terms of houses. We can look at any house within the MLS as long as it's move-in ready. We like high quality, affordable homes similar to the ones you see here. Now we know not everything is going to be as pretty as the houses on the previous slide, but here are some hard guidelines to go by. One, we're looking for houses that are between 110 to 400,000. You'll have this a lot more narrowed down once you have a client with a specific budget. We can't have any fixer-uppers, so again, move-in ready, and we're really focusing on single-family homes and fee-simple townhomes. So no condos, no modulars or manufactured homes, and Landis is operating generally within a 30-minute radius of metropolitan areas of our operating states, as long as it's not a super rural area. You can find specifics regarding our operating areas within the agent materials section of our partner portal. Lastly, we're looking at age. We prefer homes that were built in 1978 or after, but we understand in specific markets, the majority of homes can be much older than that. If we're looking for an older home, we just want to be sure it's been well maintained and really updated. If you're ever unsure if a certain home meets the criteria and you'd like to get it approved, feel free to send us an email at customers@landis.com or reach out to the dedicated client success team member directly to request approval. Before we make an offer, there are a few must-know things that I'd like to point out. The client must visit the home in person or via video call if they're out of state. We do require the initial down payment prior to putting an offer in, which can be done via our rent payment system, Cozy, also soon to be apartments.com. The client success rep working directly with the client will walk them through the amount and this process. Landis can only make one offer at a time on behalf of the client, and if we do make an offer that's not accepted, please keep us in the loop and let us know as soon as you can. Your feedback also really allows us to better position subsequent offers. Okay, so now let's get to the fun part. Your client has found their dream home and they're ready to move forward. What do you as the agent need to know in terms of our offer submitting process? First things first, you need to submit the address of the home to Landis to let us know you'd like to make an offer. You can do this by emailing customers@landis.com or reaching out to the dedicated client success team member directly. Assuming this address has already been approved and is within the property criteria, our properties team will then email you directly with offer details such as the buyer's name, which will be Landis, title information, what you can expect in terms of earnest money. We'll also give you an offer amount and we'll be requesting your feedback. You will then put the offer together on a standard contract, send it back to us to sign, and then it's ready to submit. Our offers will always be all cash, and we can provide proof of funds as requested. Now we'll be going through the due diligence process. We can expect a due diligence time period of up to 14 days, with closing being 7 days thereafter. Our deals are always contingent on inspection and appraisal, which will always be paid for by Landis. Next, we'll be signing a couple of additional documents with the client: a standard form lease agreement, a purchase contract, and a home ownership pathway agreement. This ensures everyone's on the same page as we move forward. So what will these documents include that they're going to sign with Landis? It will include the 12-month time frame and will automatically renew into a month-to-month agreement with a 4% increase in rent after year one. The rent amount will be market-based, so the base amount will be market rental rate, and then we'll add some additional onto that each month to go into a savings account for them to help save for their eventual down payment and closing costs. Depending on how much a client can put down in the beginning, will determine how much we need to add to their base rent to help them save throughout the time they're in the home to ensure that they're mortgage ready at the end of the program. The client will use our online rental payment platform, Cozy, also soon to be apartments.com, to pay their rent each month. We'll also touch on maintenance in the lease agreement. The client will be responsible for all utilities and maintenance of the home, and the client will pay for repairs up to $200, but anything above $200 will be split between the client and Landis. Lastly, we'll include details of the repurchase of the home. The client will be purchasing the house back from us at a 3% premium to the original appraised value in year one, with quarterly increases on a 3% annual basis in year two. If the client decides to exit the program for any reason, they would incur a 3% exit fee, which will cover our agent fees in the event that we have to list the home. The money we help the client save during their time in the home would go towards this exit fee, and we would refund any overage. Okay, so now that we've gone through the program and taken them through all the steps of applying, touring, putting in offers, and going through due diligence, you're now ready to accept your commission. As agents with Landis, you'll be making your full commission, of course, based on whatever the MLS states of the house. And upon closing, you'll be getting paid and the client can then move in as soon as the seller has also agreed on that time frame. You can now hand the client the keys. So now what happens once you receive your commission and your client is in the home? Well, a couple of main things. We're mainly going to be getting them ready for homeownership. Their financial coach will be checking in monthly with them to be sure they're getting on track and assisting them as needed. As we mentioned earlier, a portion of their rent will be going towards their eventual down payment and closing costs. So we'll be helping them save throughout the time in the program. And they'll also have access to our coaching app, which will give them tailored tips and tricks to improve their credit profile. Landis wins when they buy the home. And so we're going to be doing everything we can to make sure that they're on the right path to homeownership. We don't want to become a rental company. We don't want to be a landlord. We want our clients to become homeowners. Okay, so next steps to get started with Landis so we can help grow your business. So you just need to go back through, look at your pipeline, and see who this might be a potential fit for. You've got to log into your partner portal, review the agent materials section if you need a refresher, and then hit invite a client and start sending over your referrals. Of course, feel free to reach out to us along the way at any time if you have any questions at partners@landis.com. We're really honored to be partnered with so many amazing brokerages, and we're excited to partner with you as well. Thanks so much again for joining us, and we hope that you're on board with our mission to help people on their unique path to homeownership, and we look forward to working with you soon.